Ron Brady always wanted to be a bodybuilder and idolized Craig Titus. Brady met his idol in jail and says he was easily lured in when Titus confided in him about the murder of Melissa James. The former man of muscle claiming he was innocent and he wanted Brady to help him prove it by silencing key witnesses.
Did Craig Titus ever ask you for help with his case?
He had asked me to help expose the wrongdoings of these people that were trying to testify against him, but never to try and have them harmed in any way.
Ron Brady claims he was stunned. Here is Craig Titus, one of his heroes, now pleading for his help.
I don't know where my mind was at that time. I just figured after Craig had told me the situation and he was crying, he was actually crying to me.
Ron Brady, speaking here for the very first time, confesses he wanted to help Titus beat the murder rap. Soon after his conversation with Craig, Brady claims he was approached by another inmate. This man, Dean Kasem, and he claims that's the first time he heard any talk of getting rid of witnesses.
He had introduced himself to me and told me that he had people out on the streets that would persuade these people not to testify with the promise of money on the back end after Titus was released from jail.
That's not what Kasem tells us. Kasem told us that Ron had heard that Kasem had some contacts with people that were connected to the mob or organized crime, and that Ron Brady approached him.
Dean Kasem was in jail charged with robbing a big-time poker player. He wasn't a U.S. citizen, so he stood the risk of being deported. What Ron Brady didn't know is he is a longtime informant who was working for the cops. Kasem had a lot to gain by being a snitch. A lighter sentence, maybe even his freedom. Brady was released from the detention center after charges against him were dropped. Kasem kept calling from jail to make sure he was still working on a hit to wipe out witnesses. This is some of the audio being broadcast for the very first time.
No evidence. Yeah, if you don't have the actual people saying they saw anything anymore, then more than likely they'll probably get tossed out, or at least they get a lower bail.
Dean Kasem told me that what we were planning on doing was he was going to have individuals approach these people and relocate them.
Police say Craig Titus was desperate to get him and Kelly out of jail. Mr. Muscle thought he had his players in place. Ron Brady is supposed to line up a hitman to silence 3 of the prosecution's key witnesses. Those 3, Anthony Gross, who helped torch the Jag, and Craig's 2 friends whom he left holding the duffel bag. What Titus didn't know is Dean Kasem is secretly working with police to foil the murderous plot. Cops say this is jailhouse audio putting the plan to kill in motion.
There's a chance that 1, 2, and 3 could be together at the same time.
Yeah, most all the time.
So I didn't know they knew each other like that, but that'll make a difference. It actually makes it easier.
Ron Brady wanted this push forward. On multiple occasions, he was given an opportunity to back out of it and walk away from it. He did, as a matter of fact, didn't do that. He added people to the list of people that they wanted killed.
But Brady says he backed out 3 times in a row on the money drop to a hitman he knew only as Fred.
I just figured I didn't want to get involved in something this big.
But Brady claims Kasem would not let up from behind bars. He says these audio recordings show Kasem threatened him, "You'll finish the job, or else."
Why are you avoiding my calls, man?
I'm here. I'm waiting.
Well, you're just asking for Craig like that, man.
I'm not avoiding you.
You know what? It don't bother me if you are, dude, because I'm so pissed, man. I'm willing to spend 20 grand for this mother to come see you.
No.
That's how pissed I am.
I know, Dean. I'm telling you, I'm not going to let you down on this.
I remember I was a little scared.
Even though the word murder was never used, the hundreds of audio recordings filed were enough to arrest Brady.
My words, I mean, it came out different, but it was never to murder people. It was for them to go in, grab them, and relocate them.
Brady was now facing murder for hire charges. As part of an elaborate sting to nail Ron Brady, police go back to one of those key witnesses in Melissa's murder, Anthony Gross. Cops get Gross to pose for these gruesome pictures and fake his death. Then police confront Brady.
At the time we took Ron Brady in custody, we believed that he thought that the murder for hire had taken place.
One of the detectives slams this big book down in front of me, Opens it up and shows me pictures of somebody that had blood all over him and tied up. And I looked at him and I said, I don't know, what's this? And they were really perplexed. You know, they were like, you just had him killed. I said, what's going on here? I thought it was a joke.
Brady was locked up and Gross was sent out of state to hide until the trials started. Once behind bars, Ron Brady's father got this call from Craig Titus himself.
He's got to be careful because they will send all kinds of people to say really stupid things to him. Yep. In this place. It's what they do.
He didn't do anything to begin with, so...
Exactly.
I don't know how they're going to trick him into saying he did something.
Well, it's not so much tricking as it is lying.
Yeah.
That's why I don't associate with anybody. I kind of keep to myself.
Ron Brady was offered a plea deal, but he turned it down.
It would have made it look like I was doing something wrong, and I took a deal so I could get out of trouble.
He risked it all, and he lost. Brady was convicted on 3 counts of soliciting murder for hire and spent the last 8 years in prison. He was released just a few months ago.
Do you think at any point Titus lied or manipulated you?
I do, absolutely.
Up next, Craig Titus reaches out to me from behind prison bars. His side of the story, his biggest regret, and who he's now pointing the finger at for Melissa's murder.